Now that they've used most all their spells here, they can try and kite this out. He's going to go in. This is a questionable choice, but is it? Or is he just Pudge this patch? He's killing everyone with the Rot. The AoE is insane, the slow is insane, and the damage is insane. Alright boys, it is time to stop playing Pudge as a support. In the gameplay update of 7.31D, you'll see that Pudge here's got a variety of buffs. Base damage increased by 3, makes his laning and lasting in lane incredibly good. Flesh Heap was buffed. This is a toggle ability that you can turn on and off. And his level 10 talent from Rotso went from 14%. And on top of that, items that Pudge like to buy, like Eternal Shroud, magic resistance increased, cooldown reduced, Bloodstone as well, all helping make him more viable in this patch. So let's do a basic overview of his spells and what changed and how they're valuable. Pudge's Meat Hook. This spell, level 1, pretty self-explanatory. You can hook enemies, you can hook allies. If you hit an enemy, it'll instant kill it, except for heroes. Instead, it'll just do the damage displayed here. Good for farming, good for getting heroes out of position. This is primarily what support Pudges thrive off of. But in this patch, one of his least strong skills. His next spell is going to be Rot. It does a move speed and an AoE around him, and does a set amount of damage. This spell, pretty self-explanatory as well. Everyone knows the Rot and the Hook and Rot Pudge. Nothing special there. But the spell that is very interesting this patch is going to be his third spell, Flesh Heap. And we're going to take a look at like why this spell is so good. So Flesh Heap does a damage block of 7, 14, 21. And this works on all sources of damage. So if I turn this on, let's max out Rot, and I Rot myself, you notice I'm taking 0 damage from my Rot because it's blocking the damage. And you'll see when this runs out, I'll start taking damage again. So it works on damage over time ability super well. So if you're playing versus heroes like a Skywrath, for example, you can kind of see the difference here. I'll ulti here. This is the damage I take. It's a decent amount, almost half my health. Now, if I activate this and then turn on, quite literally, Sky ult does 0 damage to Pudge. 0 damage. It's absolutely insane and completely broken. And then his last spell is Dismember. This goes through BKB, which makes him a very valuable hero to have against BKBs, and just does damage. Also pretty self-explanatory. To move on to the item build of Pudge now, there's a couple builds you can do. For carry and offlane, you're going to probably do something like this, right? You're going to get the Quelling Blade, you're going to circle it, maybe get one early Bracer up in the laning stage, go into your Phase Boots, and then from there you can decide, do I need a Vanguard or Hood this game? If you do, if you're against a lot of physical damage, Vanguard's a good choice. If you're against a lot of magical damage, Hood is a good. If you don't feel like either of them will be that valuable to you, you can move on to your core items of the game. And that will be your Aghanim Scepter. This item got a bunch of buffs over time. It didn't get buffed this patch specifically, but it was kind of like a sleeper item. It increases the Rot radius, damage, and causes it to reduce enemy health regeneration. So it does 100 bonus damage on your Rot. So it was 120 before, now it's going to go up to 220 damage per second. It increases the radius as well, as you can see. Let's see how close I can get. Rot can hit someone from this far away now. Without it, you have to be this close. So it is a massive AoE now. And the last thing we forgot to mention is it reduces regeneration from enemies. So if you're playing versus Huskars or Necrophoses or anyone with a heart, any type of regeneration in the game, just making it do even more damage. It's incredibly good. Other items that you might want to get on Pudge outside of your core item here. So you're going to have your Aghanims for sure. Then everything else is just survivability. So it could be the Vanguard. If you wanted to, you could get both. And from there, you can be like, maybe it's a good Crimson Guard game. You're playing versus Visage. You're playing versus Lycan. Always a decent choice. Eternal Shroud, though. This is like the big breadwinner on Pudge. Main reason for this is magic resistance and spell lifesteal. So you take less damage from Rot, because you end up taking quite a bit of damage when you Rot yourself, and the magic resistance kind of helps a lot here. And it gives you the spell lifesteal, so you're offsetting a lot of the damage you are taking, as well as the Flesh Heap, making it virtually feel like you're taking 0 damage in most engagements. The rest of the items after that are going to be situational. Maybe a Blink Dagger could be good for a game. BKB, never a bad item. From there, upgrading your Blink Dagger, Overwhelming Blink, maybe a Refresher Orb for later on in the game if you want to get 2 Dismembers off. Kaya Change is pretty good too, gives you even more spell lifesteal amplification. Maybe you need more armor, get a Shiva's Guard. Maybe you're playing versus Doom, you need a Linken's, right? These are kind of like your situational items, with these being like the core items you want on this hero. Let's move on to talents now, like what talents to get on Pudge and why these talents are good. Level 1, 16% Rod Slow. That would take every time. The radius with Aghanim's is massive. Heroes can barely move while they're rotted, and it's in a huge AoE, increasing the move speed reduction to 48%. Spell Lifesteal as your second talent synergizes really well with Eternal Shroud, even more Spell Lifesteal, moving that up to 30% with the amount of damage you're taking. The name of the game for Pudge is get tanky and do a lot of damage. Level 20 talent, Dismember Duration. So this increases the dismember damage, actually, as you'll be able to see here. I wonder if this will kill him. Oh, well. So it does about that much damage. Add additional 0.8 seconds on top of it. It's going to end up doing more disable and more damage. Level 30 talent depends on the game. If you want to be like super tanky, you could go for this choice, the Flesh Heap stack strength. But I think this one is better because you're already getting Dismember Duration, so it's going to make your Dismember do so much damage at level 30. If you do manage to get one of those games where you get level 30 or level 25, I'm sorry. This should be about the talent build you'll look for. All right, let's move on to why Pudge is winning every single game it's playing. I looked at players like Nisha, who has an incredible win rate right now at 91% win rate on Pudge. Playing mainly mid, some offlane, game on carry as well, but his only loss, it would be 100%, but his only loss, he was playing support. And you'll also see that there's tons of players playing Pudge right now in every position. Nisha's playing it mid, Gunner's playing it, Gork is playing it, Dendy's playing it, Bryle's playing it, 23 Savage, Matumba Man, just to name a few. Arteezy's been playing it as well. This hero is absolutely insane right now. All right, let's move straight into a game here of Nisha playing Pudge mid. First thing I'm going to note is like his skill choice. It's going to be one of two different skill choices. If he's laning versus a melee hero, in this game he's laning versus Doom, he'll always get Rot into Flesh Heap. If he's laning versus like a Viper or a Lina, something that's very difficult to use Rot against, he'll get hook level 1 and he'll just hook the range creeps. Ideal scenario is playing versus a melee hero. And we'll just kind of look at the key things that he does to make this laning stage possible. He'll see his lane matchup and he'll be like, all right, I'm laning versus a melee, time to get the Rot when he needs to use it. So it doesn't matter when he skills it, he'll get it eventually. This point isn't necessarily for like the level 1, because sure, he could hook the creep level 1 and that'd be great. This will be an investment for later for farming with Flesh Heap. Using Rot to help get last hits. If you are playing Pudge, normally you can get last hits people will not expect you to get just by like quickly toggling your Rot right away. But this hero has like 78 base damage now, so getting last hits is really not that hard. And you'll notice he goes to traditional mid build. Mid builds are pretty static. Let's go back and look at that. Like this is core actually. As soon as he gets level 2, he'll pop this and start harassing. He's not taking damage from creeps. See this? And then as soon as it runs out, he'll turn back and stop trading. Every time this is ready to go, he's gonna pop it and start trading. When it's not ready to go, just chill and farm. So Flesh Heap is coming off cooldown. He'll pop it, start using Rot, chasing him down. And then Doom realizes he can't trade with this, so he'll back. 1 minute 52 seconds, he's going to stack the small camp. Yet again, we're playing around the Flesh Heap here. You can farm stacks on Pudge now. You are very tanky. He'll showcase that in a second for you. He forgot to pop his Flesh Heap there. Maybe he's saving it for later, but he's taking a little bit of damage for that. Maybe a little bit of mistake there. Flesh Heap used. Rot used. Keep your Rod on, expires, turn Rod off. Man, this hero has so much base damage now, on top of how farm you can fast as well. Alright, here it is. Flesh Heap used, Rot used. He's taking 0 damage from Rot or these creeps. No problem farming this stack here. Absolutely insane. I haven't seen like something like this in a long time. It's quite bonkers. And this is exactly why Pudge should be a core now. The fact that you can just flash farm like this is absolutely absurd. Oh, you see a stack over here? Oh, just wait for your Flesh Heap. Pop it. Use your Rot. You're farming jungle now. That's a level 3 Rot. He's taking 0 damage from that. Support Pudge can't do that. He's stacking again. Yes, we are. See, this is like the ultra farm Pudge build. No points in hook. Just total farm efficiency. He'll probably get hook at level 8, I'd imagine. Maybe at 7. It's still really useful to have hook. It'll help you get kills on the map. But it's only 5 minutes in the game. He's level 6. Doesn't really need it. Level 6 is online now. Just go straight in on the Doom here. Dismember into Rot chase down, taking no damage from Flesh Heap. Forces out the Doom, but he gets the kill first. And now Doom is on cooldown. That's a huge win for the Pudge there. And being a good mid player, realizing it's not just all about farming. He makes rotation to his safe lane. With Rot slow, easily walks him down and kills him with the Rot plus Flesh Heap combo. And back into the mid lane we go. So you'll see his item build just to chase heroes down. Windlace, I think this is completely optional. Phase Boots, really good. Definitely want this item almost every single game so you can chase heroes down. If you're against fast heroes, maybe a Windlace is good. I mean, he's playing versus a Razor, so it actually makes a lot of sense. And you shouldn't feel bad about rotating out of your lane from Pudge either, because you'll notice that, like, sure, he left mid lane, but he's just farming off the map here, which makes the enemy carry really scared. Level 8, as I talked about, he did get his meat hook available. Looking to make stuff happen on the map, being active, because that is important in Dota. Does make the rotation bottom lane, ends up dying to the Reaper Scythe, but it looks like Doom is going to die here too. And Bane, if he's not careful, is also going to die here. So he may have died for this, but ended up getting 3 kills in return for his team. You can hook runes as well, so if he wanted to, he could just hook this rune if he feels like it's ever in danger, so I'm taking it. It doesn't take any mana either if you do manage to hook runes, so keep that in mind as well. In this game, you're noticing he's going straight for the Ags into BKB. I noticed in his most recent games, he's been kind of cutting out, going for a Vanguard or the Hood and going straight. Oh, that is very unfortunate. The Kappa hook with the Flame Break, and then right onto the Doom. Dismember, chase him down, easy as that. Straight into Deny on the Batrider. Easy game. So this is where you guys are gonna have to experiment a little bit in your pubs to like see what works for you. Whether or not you want to get the Hood first or you want to get the Vanguard first before the Ags, totally preference. Just know if you do go for the Ags rush first, you're gonna take a lot of damage when you rot. You're gonna do a lot more damage when you rot too, but you're gonna take a lot more damage as well. So use it at your own risk. But as an experienced Pudge player from Nisha, he feels like this game, it is worth doing. 82 CS already. This is actually insane. Like, you just can farm so fast on Pudge now because you take no damage. More farm efficiency, just dragging creeps. I'm sure he would have wanted to go for that one, but a little greedy. I can't get over how broken this Flesh Heap spell is this patch. Quite literally insane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Looking for a hook. Lands it. Looks like their Doom and the Grip will be used. They still kill. Absolute disaster here off the back of a Pudge hook. Those core aspects of Pudge are still there. You still have to hit hooks, but you don't have to hit hooks. That's the beauty of it. Whereas if you're playing support Pudge, you have to hit the hook to be useful. The core Pudge, it's just a bonus. Not even a requirement at this point. And like you're this big tanky meat shield for your team where you can just play the front lines, you can farm fast. Everything you want from being a core in this patch in general. You can kind of see how like even offlaners this patch, they need to be able to farm fast or they fall off really quickly. We all miss hooks, it's okay. But we tanky, so it doesn't matter. We can miss the hook. We're still running in. Taking no damage. Did I mention Dismember also heals you? For those that don't know. So on top of like potentially getting spell lifesteal, it's all amplifying on top of like this heals. This reduces damage. Like you have tons of heal and damage reduction. This is probably the most tanky hero in the game right now. And you'll kind of see like what type of damage he takes while using Ags plus Flesh Heap. He'll pop it now. Whereas I don't think it's even like a requirement to have like a Hood to reduce this. I think you will take a lot of damage if this is not up, true. But you're also doing a lot more damage. Maybe that's why he kind of just like stopped going for the Hood and the Vanguard in the games, realizing he doesn't particularly need it, and going straight for the hard-hitting items, Ags into a BKB. They smoke up, haste available. He's decided to not go for a talent yet, which is fine if you're winning pretty hard. Goes straight into the Necrophos. There's a healing reduction on this, by the way, so even if Necro tries to heal, it is reduced. Goes for the +1. Pudge is owning right now. That is for sure. Yeah, you actually don't take any damage while this is up and you have Ags. Pretty insane. Oh yeah, take that kill. Nice try. He's in, he's gripped, he got the damage block off. He's taking 0 damage. You can focus fire for everyone. They eventually get him with the Reaper Scythe, but they had to use pretty much everything that they had at their disposal to get that kill. I imagine once he gets BKB, he'll be literally invincible. Looks like this fight for Dire here, not going so hot. The farm pattern scientist is looking to stalk a little bit. No lasso up, but he's going in. Got 5 stacks on the Razor, but this ain't about the bat, so nobody cares. And it looks like the bat will die after killing the Razor. Good stuff. Oh, that's juicy right there. Vambrace on Pudge. Pretty much for neutral items. Anything that makes you tanky on this hero is great. I think Vambrace is top tier. Nether Shawl. This one's great. Dragon Scale is great too. Armor, health regen. Name of the game on Pudge is just get tanky. Buy items that make you tanky, because Rot is going to do all the damage for you. BKB is available on Pudge, so he goes straight in. Doom has BKB as well. He doesn't get his BKB off, but he got his Flesh Heap off. Let's see if he can tank this up. Taking very little damage here. The Rod is active while being doomed. This is quite sad, but he started the fight for his team, allowing them to win that team fight. That is pretty sad when you're playing Pudge and you're playing versus Silence and you can't turn Rod off. You should eat this and restore some HP. There you go. This has increased duration versus creeps, by the way. And his talents are up. Rod slow, spell, lifesteal. If there is a game where you feel like you can never get Dismember off, that's either probably because you're not buying BKB, but let's just say they have tons of ways of, you know, stopping you through BKB, then the meat hook cooldown could be an option, and then the Flesh Heap stacks. But I think you should be buying a BKB and trying to play around your Dismember and getting the Dismember duration and Dismember heal and damage. So Grip is used. He does have Flesh Heap off and BKB, taking literally 0 damage. Has to be a little careful here because they do have Reaper Scythe up. But now that they've used most all their spells here, they can try and kite this out. He's going to go in. This is a questionable choice, but is it? Or is he just Pudge this past? He's killing everyone with the Rot. The AoE is insane, the slow is insane, and the damage is insane. Gets out and wins his team the team fight. And that's that. But he has Flesh Heap active. He can't die. Now it looks like he wants to buy a bunch of voodoo masks. About 7 of them. Changes his mind and goes into the Bloodstone. So Bloodstone versus Shroud. They both have their pros and cons. I think Shroud in general is a safer option. It reduces 25% of rot damage to yourself, and plus the magic damage is great versus everything else. But he's just going to play around this BKB timing. Whereas Bloodstone will give you more spell lifesteal. And it'll also just give you some HP and mana to help as well. I think Bloodstone's the greedier version of the two. I mean, look how much damage he's doing. Just keep in mind, every time you get a kill, you're getting bonus strength. This hero just has infinite scale. So very important to note when you're playing Pudge is that don't just AFK farm. You can AFK farm. The hero's great at it, but you want to be active and you want to be trading your life for kills. Because every time you get a kill, you get infinite strength. They do not. So trading on Pudge is completely fine. Another grip used on Pudge. Flesh Heap is active. He's losing some mana here, but that's about it. A full grip did literally 0 damage to him. Gets the hook, gets a free kill. And it seems this choice in this game is he's going for Bloodstone into Lotus Orb. A very responsible choice. I think he's tired of getting gripped. So if he runs in with Lotus Orb on, he can't be gripped. Lincoln's could have been a decent choice as well. A little bit of armor too. He does have BKB available. Will he pop it? He pops it. Then gets his Dismember off. Doomed has no BKB. Pudge is just gonna walk in. He doesn't care. Rot does not affect BKB. That does not matter. Reaper Scythe is a little scary for him, but looks like Reaper Scythe is used, so Pudge has no fear. Runs in. And it looks like they will back off a little bit, but I don't know for how long. He might have to turn and fight here. Dismember is up. If he can get off his Rot and Flesh Heap here, he could fight. Maybe Dismember too to heal him even more. Looks like they've made a mistake to try and chase this Pudge because he is way too strong. Dude, I'm hoping I get to see this Bloodstone action. One for this Dismember duration talent. As expected. More damage, more disable. Alright, he's going in. He misses the hook, but that's okay. Hooks are not necessary on core Pudge. BKB is available. He will probably pop it. Use Dismember. Even if Doom BKB, it would go through, but he would maybe take a little bit of damage. I think he should probably fight here, but he can back up if he wants. Doom is down. Necro ult is down. He probably wants to fight. This looks pretty sad for Pudge to get doomed, but it is what it is. It looks like he'll finally go down here. Reaper Scythe used. You can see how you can kind of like explore and have fun with this hero as well. Like, his item build looks really fun. Do I think Bloodstone was better than Eternal Shroud this game? Looking at it, probably not. I don't really see the benefit versus like a Doom and a Necro. You might just want a little bit more magic resistance so you don't kill yourself with Rot while you're silenced. You also have the spell block against the Reaper. Maybe a Linken's could have been good this game too. But in the day, it doesn't seem to matter that much if you can snowball the early game that hard. And I think that's it. This is a game of Core Pudge by Nisha. Hope you all learned a lot from watching this video, and can't wait to see you stop picking position for Pudge in my pubs and start playing as a core. Win games, stop griefing. That's it. Peace. I'm out.